Keep a 20 on me, case emergency. Ain't no cap in my rap. Real I know it's the truck. More profit mean extra. Emerald white off of the pressure. That cereal milk smoking right. But that Obama rant some special. Kansas City, I'm a chief. Shout out to K5 on this one. Country thinking I was hustling. I don't way you had it on me. Booming like OJ the juice. Till a nigga told on me. From now on it's relentless. Ain't no love, we ain't friendly. If she want me on him. No the law, she get the business. Yeah. No the law, still the motto. Empire.
And the Orange Man.
And we are right back at you. So tonight we're going to get into week 5 and 6 as we continue to go on down the weeks and see how our prognostication, right? Love that big word. Is going to work out through the football season, right? So we've got a really good start to start off week 5. Falcons, prime time, Thursday night. It feels to be back in prime time. And it's a division rival, right? We got Bucks at Falcons. Mercedes-Benz is going to be rocking. I'm not going to lie to y'all. This is week 5. I think right now I have the Bucks 2-2, and I got the Falcons 3-1. No. I got the Falcons 2-2. They will be 3-2 after this game, firmly atop the division at 3-2. And so I'm taking the Falcons.
I also am taking the Falcons. Partly in honor of that, I have my new Tampa Bay jersey, even though I'm taking the Falcons. It's a home game, and I believe this is the first game the Falcons will start to show that they are going to be the kings of their division. Because right now I have them at 2-2. I have the Bucks at 3-1. So this will not only tie them for first place, but I think this will be the start of Atlanta's ascension to the top to hold that spot.
Well, I might have the Falcons moving to 4-1. Yeah, we gonna beat the Bucks on national TV, and this one everyone's gonna fall in love with Bijan and Kyle Pitts.
I can see it. Those guys are both huge fantasy options coming into the season. People saying like Kyle Pitts is due for a breakout year. I hope for it. Right? I think this.
I mean, he got to competent quarterback again. I don't think it's a coincidence. I don't think it's a coincidence that his last 1,000-yard season was with a competent quarterback.
I mean, yeah. And what he have last year? Because I think I was egging you for a good bit of last year, but he was still a top 10 tight end last year, and almost every metric but touchdown.
But he also wasn't healthy either.
Yeah, and I'm saying he wasn't healthy, and he was still a top 10 tight end last year. So I think he's definitely
when he healthy, it's about to get bad.
So we go on to the early slate on Monday. You got Jets versus Vikings, Panthers. That's going to be a London game, if I'm not mistaken. Panthers, Bears, Ravens at Bengals, and then Bills at Texans. I think that's going to be a real good one in the early window. So that London game, super bright and early in the morning. I think the Jets are a better team, but I think this game is going to be a lot closer than a lot of people think. I probably still will give it to the Jets here. Where it goes to Carolina and the Bears, I think the Bears are going to. I think Carolina has a lamb to the slaughter type game right there. I think I had them at 1-3 right now, and I think that's going to be a rough game for them. But I still think Bryce Young is like a better quarterback than he showed last season. I like Lamar, I really do. And Joe Burrow. No, Joe kind of struggles with the Steelers. Him and the Ravens are pretty evenly matched since he got there. Lamar has actually missed more of this matchup than Joe has. But I like the Ravens, so I'll go Ravens. And then Bills and Texans. I think that's going to be a good game. That's going to be a good game. I actually got the Texans at home. What about you, Orange?
Did you say me?
Yeah.
Okay. Jets and the Vikings. That's in. I have here Tottenham. I don't know where that is, but it's over there.
It's Germany, I think.
Across the pond. I know that. I've got the Jets. I agree 100% with you there. I got the Jets taking the Vikings. I was saying earlier that I had a little phrase when I was thinking about what the game was going to be like, and I just wrote down Jets, better team. And I think considering what the Vikings have, or more importantly, what they don't have, I got to take the Jets there. And then I totally agree with you in the second game, Carolina Panthers at Chicago Bears. My little note for that one was long year for Carolina. So I think this will be a big win for the Chicago Bears. With the Ravens and the Bengals, it's an interdivision thing. But I think, and even though it's in Cincinnati, something tells me that the Bengals aren't going to click the way everybody thinks they are. Having said that, it's still going to be a very close game, still going to be a very physical game. I don't think a lot of points are going to get scored. I'm going to take the Ravens because I think Lamar is going to do what Lamar does during the regular season. And in the last game, Buffalo and Houston, I just have the Buffalo Bills are better off. Now, this is not to downplay what CJ can do at quarterback. If anybody could beat the Bills, I believe it's Houston. But I just think the Bills are going to, at this stage of the game, I think the Bills are a better off team. I think if they were to play like in late December, I'd probably be leaning towards Houston. But at this point in the game, you're just now starting to see who the good teams are. They're just starting to surface. Like I said, the first couple 2-3 weeks, it's basically like preseason. So the Bills are going to show who they can be, and I think they'll take care of the Texans.
Okay, good deal. So Jets Vikings. I like the Jets roster. However, there are a number of individuals on there that have a less than shaky injury history. And we getting into week 5. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking they're gonna be missing the key contributors by this point. So for that reason, I'm going to go with the Vikings.
Shout out Mike Williams.
Mike Williams, Tyron Smith, you name it, they got it. Like,
the other tackle,
Carolina,
too, like both sides.
Yeah, it's all bad. When we get to Carolina and the Bears, for the Panthers, I think this game is personal. The Bears feel like they high and away won this game, won this trade, because they got Caleb Williams and the Panthers, mailed in last season. I think Bryce Young is going to do everything in his power to make this his breakout game. So I'm going with the Carolina Panthers over the Bears. Ravens Bengals. I'm going Bengals just because Jamar Chase always has exceptional games versus the Ravens. And with their defense, we don't really know what it's going to look like. So yeah, I'm going to go Bengals, and then Bills and Texans. I'm going to go Texans just because I believe they're the better team.
So as we keep going into that early window, we got another division game, Colts Jags. What's it called? Colts Jags, Dolphins in New England, and then Raiders at Broncos. I think
actually it's Browns at Commanders. Raiders or Broncos is late in the afternoon.
Oh, my fault. Yeah. I was trying to save your Browns game. My fault.
Oh, okay.
So we got Colts and Jags. No, you good, you good. We got Colts and Jags, and then Dolphins, Pats, right? So
Yeah.
I would say I have the Jags at home. I think Anthony Richardson by week 5 is going to start kind of hitting that wall. People are going to start to take away some things, right? And I think Trevor Lawrence is going to have a really good year. Dolphins at New England. Dolphins at New England. I don't overly trust the Dolphins traveling to New England, but I think New England's going to be terrible this year. Even though they're going to be terrible, though, they have a defense. They just paid Ramondre Stevenson. They're going to have a run game. I'll take them. I'll take them. I'm probably going to regret taking them, but I'll take the Patriots. So I got the 2 home teams here, the Jags and the Patriots.
Even though I picked the Colts, I like the Jaguars. I like them for me to pull the upset because the Colts are my special team of the year. So I like the Jaguars to upset the Colts. And the Dolphins and the Patriots, it's going to be a difficult year for the Patriots, and I think I have them right now at a record of 1-3, and I don't think I don't think the Patriots are going to beat that Miami team. So I'm taking Jacksonville over the Colts and Miami over New England.
Yeah, it's a tall task. It's a tall task.
Okay, so I'm going to take the Jaguars over the Colts. I like the Texans, but I don't know. Lately I've been having a feeling I think the Jaguars are going to end up winning this division. So I mean, it could change next week. It could be indigestion. I don't know, but that's what we're feeling right now. So I'm going Jags over the Colts,
hold on, bro. All right. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
We always could.
No, it wasn't. It said your computer stopped recording due to hardware limitations. So, and then my little thing for like speaking wasn't moving. So I was like, hold on, let's get this back on. All right, we should be good. All right, go ahead, back where you were.
Yeah, the Patriots are going to be bad. As Orange would say about the Broncos, they suck. So
I figure it's going to be a long season for them, honestly.
And then depending on who they start, it's just if it's Drake May, they might be picking number 1.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. He's very, very young. I think, you know, me and you, we had it on our draft coverage. If there was going to be one of these QBs that wasn't going to work. Now, granted, I ain't think Bo Nix was going 12. But if there was going to be one of these quarterbacks that didn't work, like early in the draft, I had it against Bo Nix. Like, I don't think that long term, that's he's gonna just wow you. You know what I'm saying? I feel he's a little reckless.
Yeah.
Very young, very inexperienced. If he gets thrown out there, I feel like his confidence could get ruined. So, yeah. Now, going on to that Browns and Commanders game to close out the early slate. This is in Washington.
Yep.
I think because I have Washington at 1-3 right now. I think this might be a surprise game. I think Jaden Daniels might surprise some people this game. Like Orange has brought out multiple times, that Brown defense is a little different on the road. Yeah, I actually think I'm going Washington here.
Well, I thought long and hard about this one, but I do think that this is the week because I wrote in my little notes here. Cleveland defense shows up on the road. One of the big things in training camp, although you can't duplicate a road atmosphere, but they talked about changing their mindset for when they go on the road. They know what the mindset needs to be when they're at home, and they take care of business. And I think that they will want to prove, I have this week, that they will prove that on the road, the Browns will take care of the Commanders. And I hope I'm right.
What happened to Quentin?
Yeah, he just left.
Okay, everybody still here? Everybody still
Yep.
good? All right.
Yep.
Cool. All right, so keep going. I have to splice those together.
Do you want me to talk about?
Just start from the beginning of the Browns.
Okay. I believe the Browns this week are going to finally put it together. My little note is that the defense takes care of business on the road. So I think that whole mindset that they know that they have to have for home, they've figured out how to do it on the road, or at least enough to win. So I'm taking the Browns over the Commanders, and I hope I'm right.
I think I'm of the belief the Commanders are going to be a lot better than people expect, and I think they're going to pull out a tough one on the Browns.
This is going to sound weird. I think the Browns, because there's a couple teams that I have in this category. I think it's the Browns, the Lions. I would say maybe the Falcons. No, it's not the Falcons. I'll probably say in the NFC South, it'll probably be the Bucks. They're going to be good they're going to be decent to good teams, but their losses, I think when they lose, it's going to be really bad. I don't think any of those teams lose really close games this year. And by that, I mean 7+. And the only reason why is because I feel like if they play their style of play, which is leaning into that run game, or in Detroit's case, high-powered passing game, play defense, they'll roll people. Or if they're in a close game, they'll execute well down the stretch. I feel like when they're going to lose this season, the wheels are just going to kind of come off.
That's fair.
And it's like the Browns, the Lions, the Bucks. Those are the teams I kind of think about that way. Last year it was who was like that last year? Was a good team. I'll probably say like San Fran was honestly like that last year. They didn't lose much, but when they lost, they got like Philly. No, they beat Philly. It was with the Ravens. Like they got rolled. You know what I'm saying? They went like a 3-week stretch with the Jags, the Ravens, and somebody else. But they were all like 7 to 10+ point losses. I feel like they're a good team. That just happens. All right, going into the late window. We got 4 games before the nightcap. We got Raiders, Broncos, Cardinals, San Fran, Green Bay at the Rams, and then New York and Seattle. The Raiders Broncos is going to be a hard game to watch. I'm not tuning into that. I'll take Bo Nix though. Now, and the Bo Nix slander is strong, but like I will take him at home versus the Raiders.
I mean, that's assuming Zach Wilson ain't still starting. Zach Wilson's the current starter.
I know. That's not a tenable process, bro. Like you can't keep doing that. But for real. Like when you get into week 1, if that's still the case, you have way bigger problems. So I'll take San Fran over Arizona. Like I said, I think Green Bay gets on their streak, so I'm taking Green Bay over the Rams. I think that's going to be a close, hard-fought game. And then Geno does his thing versus New York. I think New York is going to be on. I actually think week 7 they start their tailspin. I think right now I have them after this game 2-3, but I don't see them finishing the season above 5 wins. So, maybe a win next week. But I know at one point I have them like 4-6 before it just starts going sideways.
Raiders at Broncos. And after going through looking at defenses, quarterbacks, and like I don't even know who the Broncos quarterback will be at that point in time. But I'm giving the game to the Broncos. Like my little note here says, only because they're at home. So yeah, Raiders at Broncos, going with the Broncos. Arizona at San Francisco. And sometimes when I do these, little things will just pop into my head. And as I was doing this, all of a sudden it came to me, somebody's going to miss a field goal. So I think the Niners win because the Cardinals miss a field goal. Packers and the Rams. Defense. The Rams, even though the Rams defense misses Aaron Donald, the game is a home game for them. If the game were in Green Bay, I probably would go with Green Bay because I feel once again you've got equally matched teams. Although I'm not sure Matthew Stafford's going to be. This is going to be his finest year. But having said all that, I'm going to go with the Rams over the Packers. And then last game, Giants at Seahawks. I don't think I would watch that game if people paid me to. Seattle is bad, but Seattle is at home, and there is something to be said for that 12th man. So once again, just like the Broncos won, I give them the nod because they're home. I'm giving Seattle the nod because they're home.
Okay, good deal. Raiders at Broncos. I'm going to take the Raiders. Keep it simple.
You got them at like 3 wins.
The Raiders?
Yeah. You've been picking them.
They're gonna play hard-nosed ball.
You said what?
I mean, the Broncos are gonna be bad. The Raiders, they got a D-line. They have a defense. They gonna play hard-nosed defense. So I'm gonna lean with that. And they got one of the best pass, in my opinion, one of the top 3 edge rushers in the league. Go to Cardinals, Niners. Even though I had the Niners getting shocked, and last time we spoke, the Niners are going to rebound versus the Cardinals. Green Bay and Rams is going to be a good game, and it's probably going to be of this slate. It'll probably be the one I tune into.
Yeah.
I'm going to take Green Bay. I think Jordan Love. He's probably one of my early picks to be in the MVP conversation. And so I'm going to make that, and then I think the Seahawks are a fine team. I think they're going to handle the Giants pretty easily.
All right, then closing off the week. We've got 2 primetime games, Cowboys and Steelers, and then the Chiefs with a victory. So when we look at it, right, Cowboys Steelers, even though it's in Pittsburgh, I think Dallas wins that pretty handily. I think Pittsburgh is going to be going through some stuff at that point in time. We discussed that Fields might already be the starter by then. But I feel like Dallas is pretty good. Now, how much did they miss Quinn on defense and how much that starts to kind of happen later throughout the year, we'll see. But as of now, I got Dallas, and then the Chiefs versus the Saints isn't even really a game. So
Dallas at Pittsburgh. My little note says Fields shines greatly. This could be what he thinks will be his coming out party. I think it's going to be one of those games where people will elevate their thought process of what they feel about Justin Fields. So I'm taking the Steelers over the Cowboys, and then KC and the Saints. I think KC gets a hold of the Saints. I still don't have reason to believe, not understand anybody can beat anybody on any given Sunday. But I just don't think Kansas City is going to let the Saints take them anywhere. So I'm going with the Saints, with the Chiefs in Kansas. Yeah, especially in Kansas City. Yes.
I think the Steelers are going to beat the Cowboys. I think because the Cowboys have had struggle stopping the run, and I think the Steelers are going to give them a heavy dose of that. And yeah, Saints. I wish them the worst. I don't think I got the Saints winning the game yet.
You don't actually. At some point, you got to let that bias go. Like you got.
It's not a bias. They playing the Chiefs. It's not a bias. It's the Chiefs about to do them dirty.
They had a couple games that could have. You know what? We'll see. All right. So going into the next week, right? Going into next week, primetime game on Thursday. You got San Fran in Seattle. Seattle always plays them tough in Seattle. I would not be surprised. I'm actually going to go Seattle that game because they usually split with them. Except, what was it? I think it was like 2 years ago or 3 years ago. They beat them 3 times in a season. But prior to that, Seattle's always pretty good at splitting with them. So I'll go Seattle that game.
I have, as I was thinking about this, one of those thoughts popped into my head, just like the other one was a field goal. This one says special teams touchdown wins it for the Seahawks. So I think they always play interdivision games are always played tough. I think special teams makes a difference here. The special teams and the 12th man. I'm going with Seattle.
I think I'm gonna go orange. I think it's going divisional game. I think they're gonna play it close, but I think Seattle's gonna end up pulling a victory out.
All right. So then when we go into the early slate, we've got London Lawrence versus the Bears. We got the Commanders at the Ravens. I love that game. We talked about the scheduling. I think that game should be played every year. But either way, Commanders at Ravens, Arizona at Green Bay, and then the Texans at the Patriots. I called him London Lawrence. He's played in London every year of his career, and I think he's 3-1.
Yeah.
Or, either 3-1 or 2-2. Either way, he plays well there. I think they're going to win that. That's got the Bears on a 3-game losing streak. The Commanders at Ravens. I love these type of games. So I got the Ravens winning it, but just a quick tangent is that like Ravens, I think week 17 should be an interdivisional like geographic game. And me and Taj had discussed this a while ago on the pod, right? So like Baltimore would play the Commanders. You would have Jacksonville play. You would have Miami play Tampa. You would have Jacksonville play Atlanta, right? Very similar to when Georgia plays Florida. They could play that game in Gainesville. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we went through all the states. I would absolutely. So I love this game, and I think it should always be played. Arizona at Green Bay. I got Green Bay winning. Like I said, this is their street time. And then I think with New England winning the previous week at home, they're about to get a rude awakening because the Texans just had a hard-fought game. And I picked them to win, but they could very well lose against the Bills. I don't think New England stands a chance that game. I think it gets ugly, and it gets ugly quick.
Excuse me. Jacksonville, Chicago, across the pond, Jaguars. Too much for the Bears. I need to see more from their defense. I haven't seen it yet, but then again, season hasn't started from the time we're making this pick. So I'm going with the Jaguars over the Bears. Commanders and the Ravens, I think this is going to be a closer game than some people will think, but I think here this week the Baltimore Ravens defense decides it's going to show up and show that they may not be the defense of past Baltimore teams, but they're not a defense that you need to mess with. So I think the defense shows up and shows out here, and the Ravens take that one. Arizona and Green Bay, I like the Cardinals, but I also like Jordan Love. I don't think that Arizona is where the Packers are yet, and because the game's in Green Bay, I just got to go with the Packers. And then the Texans at New England Patriots. Poor New England. I think C.J. Stroud sets a record. I don't know what record that'll be, but I think he sets a record in this game. And the Texans whoop up on the Patriots.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. I'm going to take the Bears over the Jaguars. I feel like this might be the Caleb Williams game. In the battle of the Commanders versus the Ravens, the future versus the present, that defense is going to know what to do with a quarterback like that, being they have one on their team. So
True.
I see the Ravens. I think this is going to be probably the Commanders' most crushing loss of the season. Packers, the Packers are going to do their thing on the cards, and the Patriots are going to continue to suck. Like it's going to get ugly as Esther.
That's terrible. That's terrible. All right, so ending up the rest of the early slate, we got the Bucks at Saints, and then Colts at Titans. Right, so I got the Bucks winning this game. I really do. I got the Bucks winning this game, and then I already gave the Titans a win. I think the Colts handled them, even at home. That's a divisional game, but you know, and you got Simmons and you got Landry on that line, and JT does have a tough time against them. But I think with the added element of Richardson, there's just too much for Tennessee in that game. So I'm taking the Bucks. I'm taking the two away teams with the Bucks and the Colts there.
Bucks and the Saints. I just got to go with interdivision. Got to go with the home team. Simple as that. That's what my little note says. Home team. That's it. And with the Colts and the Titans, you know how much I love the Colts. You know I think they're going to be the division winners. But this week I have as my special headline, upset as Tennessee comes off their bye week and gets their first win of the season. Woohoo! So Titans beating the Colts and Saints beating the Bucks.
Guys, you can't have them go 0-6.
You said what?
You can't have them be 0-6.
Yeah, they're Owen. Owen. That's what I'm calling the Saints. Owen. Yeah, because they lose the rest of the Bucks too.
Kendrick Lamar level hate this man got, bro.
Hey, I'm the biggest hater. And I think I got the Titans with a couple wins, I believe. But I do think they're going to lose to the Colts.
All right. And then we look at the Browns at the Eagles. I think that's going to be a tough game. Eagles coming off their bye week. I hate to do this to you, Orange. I actually think the Eagles got this one.
And I will agree with you. After last week's win on the road, this defense is going to be like, yeah, we can beat anybody on the road. And they're going to come in Philadelphia and going to be flatter than my Aunt Julie, and she can't cook my Aunt Julie's pancakes. So Philadelphia takes that one 27-10. Yeah, I'm even going to give you a score, 27-10. And yeah, that's it.
Yeah. I'm going to take the Browns. I think their D-line is going to be too much. I mean, yeah, the Eagles have a good O-line, but, Kelsey is a huge piece. And I think they're going to have their issues against dominant D-lines in the middle. And, the Browns love to move Myles Garrett around. They love to send him on matchup hunting. I can see Myles Garrett line up dead over the center having his way. And, yeah, because Jalen Hurts don't like to be blitzed, but that front going to feel like it's blitzing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, for that reason, I'm going to take the Browns.
I like that.
All right, so getting into the afternoon window, we got Chargers at Broncos, Steelers at Raiders, Lions at Cowboys, right? Which was a super thriller last year. I'm actually looking forward to that game, but I'm gonna have to watch it on replay. I will take the Chargers over the Broncos coming off a bye week. The Broncos, I just had them coming off their first win of the season. I think they get rolled there. That's going to be a tough game. Steelers at Raiders, I actually think, for me, this is the game in which I see Fields go off and just have like a really amazing type of game. And then Lions at Cowboys, too close to call it. I'm gonna just defer to the home team and take the Cowboys here. But yeah, that's a coin flip game to me, and that it was a good one last year. I'm anticipating a good one this year.
Chargers at the Broncos. Have the Chargers fixed their issues so they don't just die in the third and the fourth quarter? I think that a little bit of that may. I'm sorry?
They're the Falcons of the West.
Not facts.
I think that the Broncos, because they are home and due, I'm going to give the Broncos the edge here over the Chargers. The Steelers and the Raiders, I'm the exact opposite here in that I have the defense brings Fields back to earth. After last week, he sets the NFL on fire and starts smelling himself. I think the defense is going to bring them back down to earth here, and the Raiders take care of the Steelers. And then in the last game, Detroit at Dallas, even though the game is in Dallas, I'm not convinced that Dallas is a worthy opponent. Although if you ask any Cowboys fan, every year they're going to the Super Bowl. I think this is going to be not a terrible year for Dallas, but it's not going to be nearly the success that most Dallas Cowboy fans want to see for Dallas. I think it's going to be a relatively long year, and I'm taking the Lions to defeat the Cowboys in Jerry Stadium.
They'll win 11 games and lose in the second round like they're supposed to.
Chargers, Broncos, I'm going to take the Chargers. I'm just not a believer in this Broncos team. And I think Harbaugh is going to turn these Chargers around relatively quickly. Now this Steelers Raiders game is tough because it's the same team to me. Let me flip a coin. I'm gonna take the Raiders. I'm gonna take the home team in this matchup. So I'm gonna go with the Raiders. And I too think the Lions will beat the Cowboys.
All right, getting into the Falcons game, we got the Falcons at the Panthers. I'm gonna surprise you with this one. I actually have the Panthers winning this one. Right? The reason why.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna holler at y'all.
The reason why is that, like, I am convinced that Young is going to have. He's going to be a better player, right? And he's going to have a better year. For that to actually take root and them to not move off of him, right, at the end of this season, he's got to go at least 2-4 in division, right? I think his Dennis Allen knows how to confuse young quarterbacks, and he played terrible versus the Saints twice last year, right? He's already lost to Tampa this season. I think he gets a win versus Tampa. That means just by the process of elimination, the other win has to come against us, and I think it happens at home rather than on the road.
Blasphemous.
Well, I put the Carolina Panthers in that Owen category. I don't see much happening. I don't have as much faith in Mr. Young as many people do. I hope I'm wrong because I think he's a nice person, but this is not about nice people. It's about whether or not your team can win. And I think Atlanta keeps Carolina as an Owen.
Q, you disappointed me, man.
Hey, look, we're not going 17-0, bro.
I know we're not. I gave us a loss.
I have us at 500 right now.
We just not losing to the Panthers again. So for that, we're gonna be at 6-1 after this game, and it's gonna look a lot like if me and you play Madden ugly.
Cap. All right. The two primetime games. We've got Bengals at New York. I don't know who put that on primetime. And then, I'm sorry. The inside thoughts won. I'm sorry on that one. The Bengals versus the Giants. And then you got Bills Jets. I got the Bengals winning that one, and then the Bills winning the Monday night game. Like I honestly don't know who put that on there. Like they should have. That's gonna be a beatdown. Like in New York, it's like, and I got Joe Burrow coming off a loss, so like I know he's gonna. Like I seen that game, I didn't realize it was prime time. That's gonna be a beatdown. And then the Bills at the Jets. I once again think that the Jets are a bit overrated. I got the Bills coming off a loss, so I got them righting the ship this week.
Bengals and the Giants. Can the Giants dig deep down into that reservoir of courage and power? Can the Giants put it together to show an offense like they've never shown before? Can the Giants defense rise to the occasion? No. No. This game will be over at halftime. Cincinnati.
Talk about the build up just to get swatted down. They was like, yeah. Oh,
No. It'll be over at halftime, if that long. And then Buffalo over the Jets. I even though it's interdivision and they always play them tough, I just think Buffalo has more of an edge. And the way Aaron, what's the quarterback for the Jets' name? The guy that's not in Kansas.
Rodgers.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Donald. Gee. Aaron Rodgers. I just don't know what to really expect of him this year. You look at some reports. Of course, he hasn't been in camp, so you can't go by what you have or haven't seen. But I don't know. It just really worries me when a person has an unexcused absence for a team, and you're the quarterback. You can be unexcused and be a wide receiver, kinda, or a lineman, but not a quarterback. And to be unexcused, I see more junk going on there than football, and to have junk be the prime, that's not good. So I think the Bills take the Jets.
I'm gonna be honest with you. This goes to me on like how things are reported and whatnot, because like a lot of the stuff is saying like he's at an ayahuasca retreat, right? And like if that's the case, like, do you know how much I judge my homies when they call out and smoke weed all day? Like you called out of work to do drugs. Like that's what happened, bro. And I think we don't say that enough. No, like I'm being for real. I think we do not say that enough. Like he called out of work to do drugs. Like, that's what you did. You know what I'm saying? So like, I think once we start calling it how it is, we could fully line up with your idea that like, bro, it's a whole lot of not football going on, bro.
Yep.
But I didn't mean to take away from Taj. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, that shit ain't got nothing to do with me. Okay, so let me go with the other game first. The Monday night game, I'm going to take the Bills over the Jets, right? Sunday night, I got the Giants.
So you won't give the Saints a win, but you got the Giants beating the Bengals. Okay. Yeah. No reasoning behind it. Just not going to explain.
I think the Giants are better. I think the Bengals might be caught up in the case of overlooking the opponent. Because the thing is, the Bengals want to pass, right?
The Bengals what?
The Bengals want to throw the ball, correct?
Yeah.
So they got a Kayvon Thibodeau and a Brian Burns on both sides screaming. And then they got a Dexter Lawrence in the middle. And the Bengals O-line is already shaky.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you got these two big mammoth tackles, but they're slow. And then the Giants have one of the better young corners. Not nearly people talked about him, but Banks is a pretty good corner. And I think with the pass rush they're about to have, I think they're going to their defense is going to be a problem. Because it was already a problem last year. But when you add more horses up front, yeah.
Well, we had some surprises and some shockers this weekend. We will be back next week. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. You can find us at BOAF Media on pretty much all platforms, Birds of a Feather on YouTube and Spotify. Follow us always, like, repost, share. DM us. We use those for city talks, and we love to hear from y'all. Orange, you want to tell the people how to find you?
tinyurl.com/AAFP. No, let me rephrase that. tinyurl.com/AAFP 1969. I almost confused the two. One more time. That's tinyurl.com/AAFP 1969.
All right. So this has been your boy Q City.
And the Orange Man.
Boy Taj Bravado.
And the
We
Orange
out.
Man.
Peace. That was terrible. Yeah, we gotta fix that one. All right, why is it not stopping recording? All right, I'm gonna just leave.
Like a chopper, looking like I hit the lotto. I want a hottie like mulatto. I'm on here and she on Moscato. I'm in them good till tomorrow. I'm a robber for the Neros. Your little loss, I'ma put you on payroll. You smell that aroma? Design the air, it's a party in here. Papa Corona, she moving her body, she working them heels. Gotta go get it mentality. Grocery bag full of celery. Only believe half what you telling me. Keep a 20 on me, case emergency. I wake up early every morning. Thank the Lord and get the bag. Hustle hard, get the cash. Stack first, then I'm showing my ass. Gotta go get it mentality. Grocery bag full of celery. Only believe half what you telling me. Keep a 20 on me, case emergency.
My babies, that's who I grind for. That's who I do it for. Like the Navy, that's who I'm toting that iron for. Keep one in the head like a thought, nigga. Yeah, I fuck with Ty, he a boss, nigga. Foot on their neck, I exhaust, nigga. Niggas cross me, so I cross, nigga. No scripper was lit last night. 500, what it cost, nigga. Shit was really legit last night. Had them hoes at the house, nigga. Instagram, Snapchat, Triller. What they say about Jay, he a go-getter. Used to have them fat sacks in the grove, nigga. Late nights, early morning in my dough, nigga.
You smell that aroma? Design the air, it's a party in here. Papa Corona, she moving her body, she working them heels. Gotta go get it mentality. Grocery bag full of celery. Only believe half what you telling me. Keep a 20